Hey, it's Konbu. This time, I'm here in Yokohama Chinatown. I used a car sharing service to come to Yokohama. And well, I found a nice looking restaurant, so I think I'll enjoy some Chinese food there before heading back. You know, when you say Yokohama, it's actually a pretty large area. But whenever I go to Yokohama, I tend to visit places like Minato Mirai, Yamashita Park, or Chinatown. I never tire of it, no matter how often I visit. There are so many shops here, so I feel like I discover something new every time I come. I'd never really looked into the history of Yokohama Chinatown before, but it's actually the largest Chinatown in East Asia. And well, its history dates back to around 1866, from the era of the Yokohama Shinden foreign settlement, giving it a history of about 150 years to this day. So its long history and very large scale are the defining features of Yokohama Chinatown. So this area was originally reclaimed land called Yokohama Shinden. And well, it was a foreign settlement when the port of Yokohama opened. And at that time, along with people from Europe and America, many Chinese merchants, employees, and others came and settled here. So, well, many of these Chinese people came from Hong Kong or, Canton, and in one corner of the settlement, they built a temple called Kontabio, which enshrines Guan Yu, and they also established the Chinese Association Hall and Chinese School. And this became the prototype for Yokohama Chinatown. And this district, the one where Chinatown is located, is actually shifted by 45 degrees. What do you call it? The grid. The street grid here is shifted 45 degrees compared to other areas. And well, because that aligns with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. It was written on the Chinatown homepage that this might have made it a suitable place to live for Chinese people who value Feng Shui. So, there was also a time when Sun Wen sought asylum. Sun Wen was the one who led the Xinhai Revolution and was the first president of the Republic of China, right? Okay, so I've entered the restaurant. This place is called Junkai-kaku, and it was founded in 1945, so it's a restaurant with a history of nearly 80 years. Their specialties include original shumai and Peking duck, both highly recommended. And they also had a pretty extensive selection of course meals. The interior has a rather high-end feel, but despite that, the prices aren't too high. It's quite reasonable. So I think it's a restaurant that offers great value. So for the first part of the course meal, the steamed chicken and egg drop soup have arrived. And next up is this, the stir-fried chicken with cashew nuts. They brought out all the dishes for the course meal pretty much one after another, all at once. And the Mapo tofu has also been served. And the Mapo tofu wasn't too spicy. It had just the right amount of heat. It had a very authentic Chinese flavor. Next up is a white fish with chili sauce. It's like the white fish version of shrimp in chili sauce. And this one, the batter is crispy, giving it a great texture. And the sweet and spicy seasoning makes it very easy to eat. This is delicious, too. And the fish itself is plump and flaky. You know, eating it at a restaurant like this is really different from what you buy at the supermarket and eat at home. It's a completely different taste, for sure. Coming all the way to Chinatown to eat authentic Chinese food is definitely worth it. The egg drop soup was also very thick and had a gentle sweetness to it. Okay, and now I'm eating the deep fried spring roll, and this is also incredibly delicious. The deep fried spring roll is packed with filling, and it has that punch of umami from the oil. The flavor is robust, and most of all, the wrapper is super crispy, really. They serve it fresh out of the fryer, so I highly recommend these spring rolls. And next up, the fried rice has also arrived. Well, at this point, I'm already pretty full if I were to eat all of this. It's a huge amount of food. So, the fried rice is also, as expected, very delicious. The roasted pork, the chashu, has a bit of sweetness, and the flavor is definitely a little different from Japanese-style fried rice. It feels like an authentic taste. It's quite sweet, and the crunchy texture of the green onions adds a nice accent. Each grain of rice is coated in oil, creating a very delicious fried rice with a great balance of umami and saltiness. And next is the Mapo tofu, but this one felt a bit sweeter than I expected. It's spicy, but there's a sweetness within it, a sweetness that made me think there might be something like raisins in it. And that matches the Mapo tofu really well. This is delicious. Like this. There are a bunch of QR codes posted, and they ask you to leave a review on Google Maps and such. Well, I feel like the people around here are very business-minded. Yes. Well, that's how it is. I finished eating. I tried to get a shot of the front of the restaurant, but one of the staff members was standing out front to see guests off, and they didn't seem to be going back inside. So I felt a bit awkward and couldn't film it. Yes, I apologize for that. So, we're taking another walk around Chinatown. So, to get back to the history of Chinatown I was talking about earlier. There was the Sino-Japanese War in 1937, right? As a result, many overseas Chinese returned to their home country, and many shops closed down, according to history. After World War II ended, Yokohama port became bustling again, and the traffic with Hong Kong was restored. And so, well, blessed with supplies from the Republic of China, it regained its liveliness. The number of restaurants also increased quite a bit, and it also served as a black market. Then, well, the number of Allied forces, well, American soldiers, and sailors around Yamashita Park also increased, and the town was bustling. But then the Korean War ended in an armistice, and along with that, the U.S. military bases, the U.S. bases in Japan, were downsized, and it became a quiet town again. And from there, it transformed into what is known as Chinatown. Until then, it was called Nenkinmachi, but around 1955, it started to be referred to as Chinatown. Furthermore, in 1972, we achieved the normalization of diplomatic relations between Japan and China, didn't we? So well, as a result of that, the Yokohama Chinatown Development Association was established. And well, such an organization was formed, and various improvements were made to accommodate tourists. And well, it became like it is now, with many Japanese people visiting, and it became a tourist destination. From there, in 2004, the Minato Mirai line opened, and Motomachi Chukagai Station was also established and opened at the same time, making access very convenient. In 2004, the electronic money ED became usable for payments at restaurants, and they've been undertaking various pioneering initiatives. Well, the other day I was walking through Chinatown, and I saw a Malatang shop being built. It's become a bit of a trend recently, hasn't it? Or am I late to the party? I get the impression that Malatang is quite popular. They've even started selling it at convenience stores and such, right? Well, when it comes to the cuisine in this Chinatown, I think there were a lot of dishes that Japanese people imagine, like Cantonese or Hong Kong cuisine, which aren't spicy. But do you think there will be more authentic Chinese restaurants in the future? I know there are a lot of those authentic Chinese places in Ikebukuro, but my impression is that Yokohama Chinatown has more Chinese dishes that are familiar to Japanese people. Also, when you walk around Chinatown, you get the impression that there are not only Chinese restaurants, but also quite a few fortune-telling shops, right? Well, I think fortune-telling was very developed in China as well. For example, astrology, which infers things from the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, or the way stones or animal bones crack, right? And so on. And well, palm reading was also apparently quite developed in China. Yin and Yang, or the Yin-Yang 5 elements theory. The 5 elements are these basic elements of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And it's the idea that everything in the world is composed of these elements. Well, by incorporating these ideas, such as the Yin-Yang 5 elements theory and the Tenchijin Sansai, it developed into its own unique form of palmistry, allowing for various diagnoses, including complex ones. As for why there are so many fortune-telling shops in Yokohama Chinatown, it's partly because the culture of the Chinese people, who strongly believe in things like Feng Shui, has been brought in. Also, Chinatown itself is apparently considered a power spot. There are places that enshrine deities like Contabio and Mabio. So in that sense, it's considered a power spot. Also, because the town's layout was created by reclaiming land over rice paddies, the grid is shifted. It's shifted by 45 degrees and aligns with the cardinal directions. So it's said that this might also bring good fortune from divination. Well, in such a place, you can enjoy delicious Chinese cuisine, and it's considered auspicious. And it's a sacred place for fortune telling. With these various values added, I think Yokohama Chinatown has gained its status as a tourist destination today. Yes, so with that, I'm now driving back. I'm currently driving through the Minato Mirai area. This area has been under development for over 40 years, since 1983, as the Minato Mirai 21 project. Well, I say under development, but it's almost complete. It's a waterfront urban redevelopment project. Well, among Japan's urban development projects, it's often cited as a very successful example, isn't it? As for new urban centers in the metropolitan area, there's Saitama New Urban Center next to Omiya, and also Makuhari New City, but this area is designated as the Yokohama City Center. As for this area, it's not much different from Tokyo, is it? I mean, the rent is about the same as central Tokyo, or rather, it can even be higher, right? The apartments are also priced over 100 million yen, and there are plenty of tower apartments. And well, I've been there during lunchtime, and I get the impression that the restaurants are bustling with families. In Minato Marai, there's also the landmark tower, right? It's 296 meters tall, and when it was built, it was the tallest building in Japan, but now it's the third tallest. It's been surpassed by Abeno Haruka's and Azabudai Hills, so it's now third. Recently, they also built something called the Yokohama Air Cabin, which is like a ropeway, right? However, it's only a 5-minute ride one way, and the fare is pretty steep at 1,000 yen one way. 1,000 yen for a 5-minute ride, so, well, it's not exactly cheap, is it? But well, you can get a panoramic view of the Minato Marai nightscape, so the view is beautiful, and I think it's interesting. So, the car I'm currently using for car sharing is a Honda Vezel. It's the new model Vezel. I'm driving it. I've driven several different car models through car sharing, but among them, the Vezel is a personal favorite of mine, or rather, I think it's a pretty good car. Well, it's easy to drive, and the interior and ride quality have a feel of luxury. And well, the rear door handle, the back door handle, has a design where it's integrated with the C-pillar. I think the Toyota CHR had a similar design, but it's a rather stylish design, isn't it? And with its understated, sleek design, it gives off a bit of a French car vibe, like a Peugeot, or rather, it feels like it has an inoffensive design. The interior has many areas covered with soft padding, and the texture feels quite luxurious. And it also comes with Honda Sensing, the advanced safety features. In fact, there was traffic on the way back. But during that time, I tried using the radar cruise control, I think it's called, which automatically controls the accelerator and brake to follow the car in front, and it was extremely comfortable. So, that's all for this video. Please try visiting Yokohama Chinatown, and please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.